Good evening, YouTube. I want to float some thoughts out there about Chris Watts. I know I said I wasn't going to cover him like other people are. That's their thing, it's not my thing. But it seems like, and I see this as evidence, any true crime channel covering him gets thousands upon thousands of hits. And I have to wonder why. Has Chris Watts become the Frankenstein, so to speak, of YouTube land, where it's only people on YouTube discussing him, interested in him, even knowing about him? As you know, I work in a grocery store, and I work with a lot of people, especially the public at large. And through these past months of the Chris Watts saga, I've asked people, did you hear about the Chris Watts case? And 9 times out of 10, they're like, who's Chris Watts? Even today, when I was working, I said, did you hear Chris Watts, is possibly looking to appeal his case? And again, they said, who's Chris Watts? I then went on to say, the guy who killed his family in Colorado. Oh, I think I remember hearing about that. That's what I'm getting at. Is he as relevant to the general public as we think he is? Crime happens everywhere. It can happen to anyone. But it seems to me that crimes affecting Chris Watts here on YouTube go through the roof. I'd like to know why. Just the sheer mention of his name, probably in a clickbait here on this video. I'm just testing it out to see how many views Chris Watts will get on my little channel. I started this channel about 2 weeks ago, and I wanted to focus in on other murders. But it just seems like after this claim coming from People magazine stating that he's looking to appeal his conviction, which I don't see being replicated in any other news media outlet, that views for Chris Watts are up high, whereas as far as other cases, they're down low. And I would just like to know what the fascination is on YouTube about Chris Watts. Is it the shadows? Those deep, murky shadows? Is it a grand master plan to blow up an oil field? Those are the things I've heard. I won't name the person. Is it because the DA released that docu-dump where everybody's delving into and nitpicking around 2,000 pages of discovery? Yes, I have them on my computer. Have I really delved into them? No, I haven't, because I don't have time. I have work, I have a home to take care of, and I want to see who else needs talking about out there. And When the 5-hour audio file came out, it was like people were drawn again to that magnet of Chris Watts. You know, if he's such a monster, wouldn't you be repelled by a monster? I would think so. So what keeps this case going? Is it various YouTube channel hosts who know that they're going to be guaranteed so many thousands of views just by discussing Chris Watts? I want you to go out and ask anyone, especially to those that I shared this video with on Facebook. And I share it with a lot of friends and co-workers and people that I know. Do you know who Chris Watts is? Do you know anything about this case? I really want to know if this is a creation, of YouTube, the interest in this one particular case. Because quite frankly, I've never seen such interest regarding one convicted felon. An abomination that is serving multiple life sentences plus 84 years for other charges attached to those life sentences. I have to say that I think it's mainly due to Shanann's video presence on Facebook. Maybe some people got to know her through that. And did other YouTube channel hosts run with the ball? They were like, ooh, I can get a lot of views if I talk about Chris Watts. I'm going to see. But honestly, folks, how important is this new revelation that he may think of appealing his case? It's not important at all, because I doubt it will go anywhere. I have a funny feeling it's being pushed forward by maybe family members of his. Because remember when Cindy Watts said he'd never had his day in court? Maybe she's pushing it a little bit. I don't know, and nor do I care. But I don't think he has any chance in hell of succeeding. He pled guilty. He's not going anywhere. I think people on YouTube, especially the viewers, being drawn like a magnet to Chris Watts. Remember, there are other victims out there and other monsters out there that need looking into. So, again, go out, ask your friends, who's Chris Watts? People who don't necessarily watch YouTube. Watch their face go, who's Chris Watts? And yes, my heart goes out to the Rzucek family. And I wonder how much this is harming them. How much interest in the man who killed their daughter and their granddaughters, their grandson. How much is it hurting the Rzuceks? And are we, I don't know if I'll include myself in on that much, because in the 2 weeks that I've had my channel up and running, I haven't covered him. But I'd like to know if YouTube channel hosts who continuously cover him are being part of the problem. Are you, by covering Chris Watts, hurting the Rzuceks in any way? If I were the Rzuceks, I would want to move on fast from Chris Watts and having to see his name up on YouTube. I don't know if they monitor YouTube, and if they do, my heart goes out to you. But I think we need to let Shanann, Bella, Celeste, baby Nico rest in peace. And I think we owe it to the Rzucek family and Shanann's friends as well to move on. Chris Watts, the abomination, is sitting in a jail cell, and most likely it will be the same jail cell for the rest of his life. Let him go quietly off into the shadows to be forgotten about. That's what justice is. So, if you like my video, sorry about that. If you like my video, click like. If you want to subscribe, click the subscribe button and hit the little notification bell over there. So, as always, let me know what you're thinking down in the comment box. I'd really be interested in knowing. Thank you, and you all have a wonderful evening. I know I will. Bye-bye.